Welcome everyone. This is Gwydion with RPG Frequencies, and today I'm going to walk through character creation for Riftbreakers Second Edition, which is currently a Kickstarter, and it's already been fully funded. As of the recording of this video, there's 5 days left to still get into the Kickstarter, but obviously if you're watching after that, there'll be various ways to purchase the game after Kickstarter. So either way, hopefully this is helpful to you. And I'm not going to be going into the PDF too much for character creation because part of the character creation is a little bit of a story. There's kind of a fun way that you go through character creation, and I just don't want to spoil that. So I created a little presentation to go through and do our character creation without hopefully spoiling too much, although I might jump into the PDF just a bit as needed. So let's start with the first step. So let's jump right in. And the first step of character creation is choosing your appearance. Now, you're going to be some type of human or humanoid. If you choose humanoid, it can affect your appearance, but there's no real game disadvantage or advantage to that. So for now, I'm just going to make my character a human. And there is a PDF. This is the PDF that you will get as part of the Kickstarter. Now, I made this form fillable, so Alex T might put this up for free on his Discord. I know he already has this basic character sheet already on his Discord, so hopefully he'll put the form fillable one as well. So let's go ahead and go into appearance. We can do that a couple different sections. Let's just go to description and say human. We'll just see that for now. All right. So that's very simple first step. So what is the next step? The next step is, so we're going to look at our attributes plus our name. So ability pool will be 20, Aether 10. Health will be roll 2d6 plus 15, and then luck will be 0. So let's start with our name. Let's turn off the PowerPoint. We're just going to call this character Gwydion. Make it easy. I've already got this set to default values for ability pool of 20, Aether of 10. So let's roll our health using the 3D dice that I love. So we're going to do 2d6 plus 15, and we'll see what that rolls. Looks like that rolled a 12. Awesome. Plus 15 is a 27. So we're going to give our health 27. And awesome. So we've done that. So what else? We've got our luck is 0. We've got our name. We've got our Aether of 10. We're all good. So let's go to the next step of character creation. Gear. You get a plain tunic, a weapon of your choice, and 2 times potions of minor healing. We won't dive into what that is, but just know that's the starting gear you'd get. So let's go ahead and go back. And I know for we'll start with the plain tunic. So let's go to our armor. I did read that it doesn't really take up a slot. I believe it just takes up your equipped armor here. And then there's one other section I'll put this on. But we'll just say plain tunic. And I'm going to go into the gear and let's just find the plain tunic, which is, it says it's heavy clothing if you look at the character creation. So heavy clothing, if I can find the armor here, heavy clothing is down here. So it's a D3 protection, D6 integrity. So we're going to put D3 protection, D6 integrity, and that's like, it's a usage die mechanic that you'll use for the integrity. So let's see if there's another spot. Here's our gear. So we're going to put that in armor. We'll just say plain tunic here just to designate that. And then we've already got our potions of minor healing, and I noted that there's 2. So now we just need to select our weapon. So let's go to the weapon table. And I don't know, flail looks interesting to me, so I'm just going to grab flail, which is damage type of bludgeoning, and you're going to use your bludgeoning skill. So let's go. So that's going to be my main hand. I'm going to have a flail equipped. And I don't know if it takes up a slot, so we won't worry about that for now. But we're going to put in our equipped weapon flail. Weapon skill is bludgeoning. I can type it all out if I want. And damage, I don't know, because I think everything does a D6. I'm just going to put bludgeoning because that you're going to use your weapon skill of bludgeoning, and that's the damage type. And then over here, if you look at flail, it does say difficult 50. That means I have to have at least a 50 skill to wield this. And I think the skill it's based on, well, it says it right here, is going to be the bludgeoning skill. So I need to remember that. So it's difficult 50. I'll just note that there. All right, and I think that's it for that. So let's go back to our little presentation here, and hopefully this works. All right. Skills. So I'll have a separate screen so I can remember all these, but you're going to increase a weapon skill by 60, a different one by 40, 2 non-weapon skills by 40, 3 non-weapon skills by 30, 4 non-weapon skills by 15, 4 non-weapon skills by 10, and then the modifiers you can't stack. And then you gain proficiency with a weapon and an armor of your choice. All right, so let's just start going through these. So let's do the proficiency first. And I think I'm just going to say, I don't know if you need to do it with this. It says weapon, so I'm just going to say flail. And then armor, let's see. Armor, is that, I don't know. I mean, right now, obviously I have heavy clothing. Do I want to? I'm not positive about this, so rather than taking the video down, I'm just going to say heavy clothing for now. I don't know if there's a different way I should be setting that up, but let's just say for now, we'll say proficiency. I can find proficiency. Yeah, heavy clothing, and I'll look that up later and maybe add a note at the bottom of the video. All right, now let's do skills. Increase a weapon skill by 60, and some of these you'll see are already pre-filled. If there's a parenthetical, that's the minimum you start with. So the PDF has already added that minimum into the sheet here. So bludgeoning, I'm going to give myself a 60 since I took a flail. And then we're going to do a different weapon skill by 40. Let's just do bladed. 2 non-weapon skills by 40. I don't know what's good here or like what you should. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do ranged by 40. I'm going to do bludgeoning and then ranged. I want my perception to be pretty good. So let's do increase that by 40, which will make that 60. I don't know what's important. Weaponsmithing. Why don't we do weaponsmithing? So that's 2 at 40. Then I get 3 non-weapon skills, 30. So I'm gonna make this guy like a tanky guy. He's gonna do armor smithing 30. That's 1. So I have 2 left. He's gonna do what else? Survival by 30. So he has 1 more. He's gonna do medicine. See if he can help himself. And then I get 4. I get to do 15. We're going to do command 15, insight 15, gathering 15. So I need 1 more. Manipulation by 15. I think that's 4. Then I do 4, I get 10. So we'll do sailing. Why not have a little bit of sailing? I don't know. Nature. So that's 2. We'll do alchemy, and then we'll do cooking. I don't know. And that's it. So we've done all of that. So let's go back to our presentation. See what's next. Crystallized hearts. So this is where we're going to choose 2 crystallized hearts, but we only choose 4. There's a 12 total, but in the beginning, you only get to select from Arcane, Might, Restoration, and Shadow. So let's do that. And obviously, based on what I'm creating, I think it makes sense. Let me look at Might. Here's Might. Battlefield. Yeah, I'm going to do Might for the first one. Let's go back. And I created, let's see if it'll pop up. I might have to turn it on. I think I did it here somewhere. Thought I did. Is it input? No. PowerPoint. Got the PowerPoint. Oh, here we go. Heart sheet. There we go. So I think I know there's going to be a separate PDF for this, but for now I just created this in Word. So we're going to say Might. And let's I'm going to flip back and forth. So let's go to our heart. So that's Might. So what else do I need? Oh, that's not my ability. We're going to start with just noting that I have. These are all going to be abilities. So I'm just going to make these first two my crystallized hearts because I have to pick abilities next. So I get might. Oh, no, this isn't a great. Let's do this. Okay. So what other? I have arcane, restoration, or shadow. Let me look at shadow. Shadow. Ooh, subterfuge, darkness. What about restoration? Bless, divine. Yeah, maybe I'll make him clericy. I'm gonna do restoration because I did pick a little bit. So we're gonna put restoration here just to note it, just so I don't forget. And you don't see that, but I'm putting that on my sheet here. And where is my PowerPoint? And we'll do the PDF. Let's turn that off. There we go. All right. So now we're going to take down the heart sheet for a minute. We're going to go back to the PowerPoint. And what do we do next? So 6 heart essences to select your 6 abilities. All right. So we'll turn that off. And we're going to look, and we're going to be flipping back and forth. This might not look the best, but let's just do it this way. Yeah. I'll have to turn that off. So let's start with, you can do this in any combination. Like I could have 5 out of might, and I could have 1 ability out of restoration, but I think I'll do 3 and 3. So might, battlefield presence. So it'll tell you if it's a prime ability. Clear the battlefield, cleave, desperate attack. There's a lot, and I don't think I have to worry at all about like leveling. I can take whichever ones I want. I'm going to do desperate attack, doubling your damage if hit. So let's start there. And I'm going to have to flip back and forth here, so bear with me. All right, so we're going to start with desperate. And I know this won't look great, but so that is using might. And for now, I think what I'll do is I'm going to copy. We'll do 3 of these. So yeah, there we go. And the type, so let's flip back here. The type is, I don't know if that's standard action. Is that what it means? Nope, action type. I think the type is range. Nope, there's a range 0. What? Oh, it's a combat, I think. So let's do that. So we're going to say it is combat, and it's a standard. And I think it was prime, but let's look for a second. Desperate attack. No, it's not a prime. It does not designate that it's a prime. So let's make sure we note that. So for now, I'm just going to, and yeah, we'll just do it this way. Just highlight it for now. I'll find a better way to do that over time. Actually, you know what I wanted to do is, can I do this? Bill? That's what I want to do. Excellent. The range is 0. And the cost, we did see an Aether cost. So let's look at that. Aether cost is 3. So that's a 3. And is there a defense? Does everything have a defense? Don't see a defense here. So for now, I'm going to leave that blank. All right, so then we will select penetrating strike. Or no, precision strike. Let's just do precision strike. All right, so we'll say the ability is precision strike, and that is might again. And sorry, I forgot to turn that off. And let's look at this. See if I can remember these. Actually, you know what I might do is no, I can't, never mind. So it's cost of 4, range 0, standard action. Cost of 4, range 0, standard action. So cost of 4, range 0. It is combat, and it's going to be a standard. It is not prime. I looked at that and it is not prime. So we'll just say, and the reason that's important is because if it's a prime, you can only use it once per combat. That's it. So, all right. So now it's going to go down and I'm going to do, just for grins, let's do this. We're going to do a non-combat ability. And I don't know. Okay. Looks like the only non-combat ability is summon two-handed weapon. Requires spending 100. I don't know what that means. Yeah, actually, I don't know what that means. I'll have to look at that later. Let's do unyielding. Gain 3d4. Yeah, let's use unyielding. Temporary health. I like that. So we'll use unyielding, and that is a prime attribute. So let's look at that. So we'll say unyielding. That looks like it is a combat. I only saw one non-combat for this. It's standard. Range is 0. It is prime. I'm not trying to game these, so these might not be the best. So let's see. Unyielding, self-standard action. Oh, it's self. Cost is 5. No defense. So cost is 5. Range is self. And defense is like NA. So I think what I would do, and I won't do this for all of these, but what I would do normally, I think, is let's select. And I think what I would do is just kind of copy all of this. Probably won't copy over great. And for now, let's hide this. I think I would just, I'd make this nicer, but we'll just do this for now. So that's 3. So then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do 3. I didn't have to do this, but I'm just doing it this way. So we're going to have this be restoration. And so we'll do all of these. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So let's hide that. Let's bring this back. Find restoration. And, ooh, I like this. I'm just going to look at holy weapon. That's prime. Let's do holy weapon. So that is holy weapon. And that is prime. All right, what else do I need to look at? I'm going to kind of go quickly. So let's do this for you. The holy weapon prime, 6 Aether, self-standard action. 6 Aether, self-standard action. Combat. Standard. We said cost is 6. And what did we say? Self. That was self. I think that's it. I'm not going to copy the descriptions. You get that. So I would put that in there. So I have that for my character. I didn't see anything on defense. So let's pick another one. All right. So do I get non-combat summon holy? Yeah, I'll have to look at what this means. Ooh, I like shelter. That sounds kind of fun. Or life bolt. Ooh, radiant damage. I'm going to do life bolt, which is cost of 4, range 0 to 2. I like all the options you get here. So that's very cool. So it's going to be a life bolt. And I think it was standard. I will look, but it's combat. Standard, I think, range. So this, again, on the grade at 0 to 2, I like that. Don't think that was a prime, but we'll look again, and we need the cost, and if there's a defense. The life bolt, cost of 4, standard action. So, okay. Cost of 4. So then you would do the description, and then we get one more. So let's get one more restoration. Like I said, I love all the options you can really customize. Look, if he's going to be kind of a character or cleric, I've got to do bless. So it's a prime, cost of 4, standard action. Prime, bless. Bless. So that's prime, combat, standard is prime. So we'll do that. Cost of 4. And let's see the range. I didn't see what the range was. Let me look at that again real quick. 0 to 2. So another one that's 0 to 2. All right. So then we could save this. And again, you'll have another character sheet. So let me minimize that, bring back the PDF for the moment. And let's go back to our PowerPoint. So what is left? Gear and path. So I think I already did this. I'm sorry, I must have, I think I accidentally double counted this, but I'm not going to worry about doing this again for the video. So really it's just the path is all you have to worry about. So let's look at our path and do that. And we will look at paths. So these are all the paths and these are going to be your achievements. So Path of Slaughter, that's probably what I'll do. But you have Shadows, Arcane, Explorer, and Diplomat. I think based on the character I created, well, but I do have some, maybe Explorer. Nah, I'm going to do Path of Slaughter, even though there's a little bit of a disconnect there, given he does get to heal, but we're going to say Path of Slaughter. All right. And that's it. You've done with your character creation. So I spent a little more time on that, I think, but in general, that went really quickly. So awesome. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please drop a like. Any comments or questions on this, let me know that anything that came up that confused you. But yeah, there's Riftbreakers 2E Second Edition character creation. So I hope you check it out. This is again by Alex T with Black Oath Entertainment. Till next time, everyone, thanks for watching.